Hi guys, this is Carrie. Welcome to A Crone's Life. I wanted to do the end of the year tarot tag like we always do, and I'm so excited. I really don't know how I'm going to answer a lot of these questions, just to let you guys know who hate it when I get all, scatterbrained. But that would be your warning. I may be scatterbrained. I hope everybody's Christmas went really well. I wanted to wait until after Christmas to do this tarot tag just because I knew I was going to be getting some decks, and this really legitimately is my end of the year. Prompt number 1, deck you've loved using the most this year. So I have the R Black. And I can't even believe I have this deck. This is like, I don't know. This was the one that I was always kind of hoping that I would find. And then my husband got it for me. I don't know how I got it, and I don't know how much it was. But there's a little bit of a design on the back. It's really hard to see. And the cards are just amazing. I love them so much. I've really spent more time with this deck than any of the others because I refuse to put it away. And when I'm just, I don't know, thinking about things that I want to learn in tarot, I grab this deck. So I've enjoyed it. Probably not the time to do a flip through, but isn't it gorgeous? I mean, ugh, can't help it. I took this one traveling when we went to, I believe, New Mexico. Was it New Mexico? It could have been the Dakotas. We go out west almost every year, and we go to different states. And there was one year, where there was a huge rock that hit the windshield of my husband's truck, and I swear it was a near-death experience for me because I saw where it was coming through the windshield, and if it had penetrated, he probably would not have made it through that trip. It was scary. We had to get the windshield replaced pretty immediately because it was there's a big, larger than a golf ball size hole in the windshield. This was my stalker card that year too. But whenever I'm just playing with it, it just has all the cards. All the cards like to come out and play. And there is no guidebook, which is perfect because I love the imagery. I don't really think you need a guidebook. And that is it. That's the deck. Sorry, I just kind of wanted to go through that. I may just speed it up for you guys so you can see the cards and pause if you want to, but these decks are so wonderful. There's no reason not to visit them. So that was my deck that I loved using the most this year, the R Black. Okay, prompt number 2 is most recent edition. Like I said, I waited until after Christmas to do this because I knew I was going to get something exciting. Check it out. So, the Vertigo Tarot is done by DC Comics, and it's based on, I believe it's based on Neil Gaiman's Sandman series. So it is kind of creepy, very his style. If you've ever watched Mirror Mask, or if you've read any of the Sandman, you'll know his style. I still have it in order. It is not edged. These are the backs. The guidebook was written by Rachel Pollack. The illustration is actually Dave McKean. The cardstock is very thin. I'm not sure how durable it will be. I'll just try to be very careful with it. But I think this has gone out of print now. It was something that I was interested in finding for my library, and my husband was able to track it down and gave it to me for Christmas. So a little bit of extra special on that. I did get 2 other decks at Christmas. I got the Oracle of Many Paths and My Friend Fire, but I've done walkthroughs of those, or flip throughs. So this was the only deck for Christmas that I did not feature in its own little video. So I thought I would take a moment and show it off a little bit. Okay, so this is the Vertigo Tarot by Neil Gaiman, Dave McKean, and Rachel Pollack. and it is my most recent addition. So prompt number 3 is deck that isn't your usual style, but you're vibing with it. And I chose the Mother Piece. I think I brought this up in my Mass Markets video, and that kind of made me, I don't know, look at it differently. So I'd been playing with it for a while. This was a gift. I don't believe I ever would have bought it for myself. It just doesn't seem my style, like it says. But as I've worked with it, I realized that there's more to it than meets the eye. There's lots of little things in the illustration that different times captures my attention. So I have a tendency to spend time just looking at little things, and you know how it goes. You can just add a whole lot of different layers and meanings to these cards if you spend a little time noticing the extras. So the Mother Piece Tarot is by Karen Vogel and Vicky Noble. I dare not say that 5 times fast. I think one reason why this deck has just really stood out in the last few weeks for me is that I spent some time drawing the images that are on the cards, and it's a lot of fun to, you know, use the same imagery but you know, turn it into your own style or add your own bits and pieces to it. I don't know, it just connects me to my decks a little bit more. And also I have many Spanish decks, and I've enjoyed using them already this year, so they're put away. And this reminds me of some of my Spanish decks in the, I would call it primitive style, but I don't know if that's really the best word for it. But at any rate, I've already put those decks away, and that made me kind of lean on this one a little bit more than I would have. That's a practice that I've been really proud of myself for doing. I enjoy really shaking things up and changing things when I get complacent about my journaling and my art, and believe me, my art is slowed to a crawl. I have not drawn in so long, but you know, with the new year and the new decks, I think that there might be a burst of energy coming up. This is one of my favorite cards. It's so crazy. So again, this is the mother piece. It's from the 70s, I believe. My deck is 2016, but I'm pretty sure this was from 72. Nope, it says 81. Okay, so this is from 81. And it's mass market. I'm pretty sure it'd be easy to find. Just deck that's not my usual style, but I'm definitely vibing with it. Prompt number 4 is favorite deck pairing. I deliberately went through my decks and just played with different pairings just so that I could answer this question. As you guys know, I usually put out 4 decks and I draw 1 card from each deck every day. And the purpose of my daily card pulls is to write in my journal, get to know my decks, and to encourage my creative side, like painting and drawing. I do have some sculpture things going on, but I don't always like to get my hands messy, so I don't get into that quite as much as I do with the journaling. So, my favorite deck pairing from the things that I've been playing with is the Devas of Creation and the Super Lunaris. They read incredibly well together, and they're also very pretty. I like pretty. One second. I did it on this side before, so let's keep to the theme. So the Super Lunaris has this really pretty rose gold edging. It's super soft. If your hands aren't extremely delicate, you probably won't have trouble with it. Let me adjust my lighting just okay. So when I was playing with these, I realized that it's not just the beautiful color scheme and the line work that go together so well. I was using the Devas of Creation guidebook and I was reading what these cards mean, and with the interpretation that I have of the Rider-Waite-Smith, and they were superb. I would have to take quite a bit of time to read to you, or you could take my word for it. It's a wonderful pairing. I really feel like I may be doing this more in the future. It's very nice. So once again, let me show you the box of the Super Lunaris. I got this on Amazon, believe it or not, and I don't know what mass market company published it, but I swear I did. It's so good. This and the Cosmic Seed are similar, but I won't get rid of either one of them because they're too good. Prompt number 5 is divination accessories, dice, journals, altar items, deck mods, bag, cloth, or any accessory bought or made. I'm not really sure how to describe what I do with these things because they all have a certain amount of energy and it inspires me, it energizes me, it directs me. So one thing that, I'll just grab my botanicals. One thing that I love to do is to find things in nature that I can bring into my home and work with. I don't do spells, but there are things that I bring into my home that serve a purpose, and I'm not always sure why. This was something that I actually got from the internet, but when it came to me, it was so loaded with beautiful energy that I have to show it. I have found many of these kind of nature things on our trips around the country, but most of what really rejuvenates or inspires me is my travel altars. And I've shown these before, but I just feel like they're so special. It would take forever for me to tell you about each little item in my boxes, but as you can see, like, something as cheesy as a dyed stone has a place. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Everything is so random and wild, but it just sparks joy, maybe? Can I say that? It just sparks joy to me. It really does inspire me. It brings me through points of difficulty in my life. It helps me to stay grounded, especially when we're traveling. It's nice to just remember that all of this is magic, you know. Everything that we have around us, if there's some energy to it that speaks to us, it's definitely magic. So, so my travel altar, this is one of my bigger ones. It has a lot of tiny things in it, so I like this. It looks like a foot, but it's a shell. Old rings that belong to ancestors. Tiger's eye. It's not even really polished. It's still kind of a matte finish. Lockets with nothing in them. So my travel altars, I'm definitely not going to go through all this because, like I said, that's just too much. Small idols. This is Durga, and a little tiger. She rides a lion or a tiger. I love miniatures. I'm so into miniatures this year. I've got the tiny little bananagrams and ravens and a little wagon. I mean, these are just exciting to me. When I went to New Zealand, I got some New Zealand jade. This is an owl and a bear. My husband got this for me for Christmas this last year. I don't understand it at all, but I'm going to spend lots of time looking at it because I'd really like to get inside of what's going on here. Isn't it cool? I often find things that I don't understand. This is like a fungus that grows on trees. I don't know what it is. I have looked it up before, but for some reason I don't remember what it's all about. It just stays in my botanic collection. I work with crystals a lot. Like, this is obsidian. I probably should polish it. It just says obsidian on the bottom. I think this came from Steve's family. I have a lot of bones. This is a mink skull. all of this in here, well, this I purchased. It's a pink selenite or some type of tiger's eye, but it's pink. But all of this I've collected in here. There's, I don't want to dump it out. There's patchy tears, things from my great-grandmother's home. There's turquoise, there's plastic bits to toys that I had in the past. Seashells or oyster bits. And, oh yeah, mushrooms that are shaped out of crystals. I think this is, well, I don't really know what anything is, to be honest with you. I think this is honey calcite or something. Well, I can't get it out. But there's coins. Often, if I find foreign money, I will put it in my collection. I work with fragrances. This one's my favorite. It's anise. I have a lot of Buddhas, which is really funny because they're from my mom, and she was not Buddhist. Let's see, what else? I know I had one more thing, I'm sure, that I'm looking around at. Oh, tribal things. I find different cultures have really interesting tribal things. So this is a death whistle, and this inspires me to keep learning about things, even though it is completely foreign to me. It makes the most haunting noise. Oh, wow. And candles. So, as you guys probably notice, I usually burn candles next to myself at the altar, but yep, I have a wide variety of things that just set my heart on fire. Let's say that, because it's really cool. And that's kind of how it feels. So. Journaling is also something that I do. I've learned that the way that I paint my spreads, I paint my cards, changes the way I read the spread. And I'm going to try to do some in-depth studies with the layout of my paintings compared to the spreads that I pull every day. I have a little bit more to do in this journal, and then I will start a new one. I thrive on random and change. I do much better if I change things up often. I don't do well if I keep things the same all the time. So that's one of the reasons why I change out my decks every single week, because it's better for my intuition, it's better for to challenge my skills. It keeps me interested and activated, keeps me engaged with the studies that I'm doing. So from here on, I need to do more sketches and then paint them, but I'll have this done pretty soon. I probably could bust it out in a day or a weekend, but my journal is very important to me. This is my legacy. I will be gifting these or leaving these to people in my family for when I'm gone, and they might be able to understand me a little better after I've left. Prompt number 6 is great card back, and I just want to be completely honest about this. I don't really think much about card backs. If one strikes my fancy and I go, ooh, that's pretty neat, then maybe the card backs or something. But generally, I don't really care. But this one's pretty neat. It's simple. It's reversible, sort of. It's on a circle, so it's not gonna be exactly. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is Accurate AF Tarot. It's a lot of fun. I've used it several times this year. It's one of my newer decks. But the backs are very pretty. It's this beautiful blush pink, and the gold just seems quite, I don't know, classy and nice. This reminds me of the phases of the moon, but it's probably not what it is. Just reminds me of that. So there's gold on the fronts. I probably shouldn't go through the whole deck just for you to see the backs, but we'll do a few. And that gets us through the major arcana. So, soft gilding on the sides, and yeah, so those are really nice backs. Prompt number 7 is deck with a theme you like. Haha. I tend to gravitate towards decks that have mythology, stories, folklore, or all of the above. I have quite a few more of these, but they're put away right now. So this one is one of my favorites anyway, because the guidebook is done really well, and she also put out another book called Beneath the Moon that kind of goes into the stories more in depth, so that you could really relate to their meaning. I've had this for quite a while. I may even have a backup copy. She is one of my favorite artists in the deck creation world. She does a lot more than just decks, though. I went to her website thinking I would, see upcoming projects or something, but she has purses and bomber jackets and talismans and jewelry, and it's pretty amazing. So I had a lot of fun just perusing that day. She recently hooked up with Hit Point Press, and they did the Fable Makers, I think. Hold on. Deck of Many Things. That took me a while to get that one. It just seemed to take forever, but not unhappy. It's a lot of fun. This is the Tarot of the Divine by Yoshitani. And this particular deck is linen finish. I believe the backside, yeah, they're the same. It's not difficult to shuffle at all. It's very flexible, easy to maneuver. Does not feel thin at all. And this is mass market. Put out by Clarkson Potter. So anything that has folklore in the title, I've probably at least considered it. It seems to be one of my favorite themes. So this is the Tarot of Divine again, and the prompt was a deck with a theme that you like. Prompt number 8 is most beautiful deck this year, and that was really difficult for me. I had to go back and check the dates on all of my decks that I received in this last year, and there's so many contenders, like you just don't know. But overall, I think that Deep Dreams won. This is an oracle I got on Kickstarter. These cards might be, that one's upside down. There is a lot of cards here. I will not go through all of them because there's too many. But to give you an idea, they are glossy. Of course, this is the back. The artist is Alfonso, I can't remember his last name. He goes by Artanzo, excuse me. But I'll put his information in the description box below. Just a couple of more, and then I'll move on. Okay, so this was Deep Dreams Oracle cards I got from Kickstarter. Artanzo. I wish I had anything else with his name on it because has a more proper name than that. And it's the most beautiful deck this year. Number 9 prompt is deck you wish existed or a unicorn deck you want. I don't really have anything on my unicorn deck list right now. Maybe I've just not stayed committed to wanting some things. But I do wish that something existed. I play video games, and Skyrim is one that I spent a lot of time in. And the Skyrim deck that I have is pretty bad. It's not beautiful. And there's several video games that I enjoy or have enjoyed, and they don't have decks. Or they do have decks and they're terrible. But this is Dragon Age Inquisition, and I think it is done beautifully. I love the layers of information that they have in each of the cards. I love how they've put the characters in the cards without them being, I don't know, overwhelming, like just pushing it on you that that's who that is. It's subtle and really beautiful. I wish that Elder Scrolls could put something together like this, maybe pulling in more of Morrowind and Oblivion and different time periods along with Skyrim. Maybe even they could even put some of their online stuff on here. I don't know. But this is a much better deck than the Skyrim deck that I have, and I kind of wish that it could be more like this. Another one is Borderlands. There's a lot of lore. There's a lot of backstory with Borderlands. It's enough to fill up a deck. And the artwork, I would want it to be nice. I wouldn't want it to be, you know, all over the place, because their animation for the video game was kind of all over the place. Because it took so long. I mean, the whole Borderlands franchise is over so many years that the animation changed because it had to. It evolved, and it'd be nice if they could have like a cohesive style decided upon for a tarot deck and just incorporate all the lore that they had. And those are silly, you know, that silly requests. It's not that big a deal. It's just something that, you know, when you realize you've spent that much of your life chilling out and playing video games in certain games, you kind of want to you kind of want to put these two things together, the tarot and the video games. Hi Monty, hi buddy. We've played Dead Island 2 for a little while now, and there are some tarot cards, but there's not a whole tarot deck, and those were done really well. I'm trying to think of another one. Oh, Diablo. I've never played Diablo, and the tarot deck makes me want to play Diablo. How silly is that? But the artwork on Diablo is beautiful as well. I think there's just this chemistry or something. There's a perfect artist for a certain deck, and they haven't found it for some of these, and it would be nice. It's just a thought. It's, you know, it's a little thing. But that was the deck you wish existed. Prompt number 9. Prompt number 10 is which card sums up this year as a whole. I believe that would be the Chariot. It took me a while to find the right deck for it, though, because some of the Chariots look kind of crazy, and a lot of them have motorcycles. That's not exactly the feeling that I had for the Chariot, but it did seem like life was just coming at us constantly. I mean, there was hardly a break between, you know, one event to the next. It just kept going regardless of how we felt. Oh, touching the card instead of the screen. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, so I feel like this energy was persistent through the year. It stayed with us. We were either traveling or something, you know, really eventful was going on. And to this day, it really hasn't stopped. I mean, we slowed down for the event of Christmas, and thank goodness it was just me and my husband. We could just sit and take it all in for a day or two, and that's been really nice. But, you know, it was how it felt. I don't know about any energy I want to bring in. That was another part of the prompt, but I'm going to skip that one. Number 11 is Tarot Practice Reflection. I've already given you a little glimpse into my journal that I've been working on through the year. Just paintings and drawings and the tarot spreads as my brain kind of interprets them into imagery. But I thought that this was something that was really fun. My tarot practice evolved into making my own little oracle. Now, this isn't super special, like professionally done or anything, but it was a lot of fun to make. I think I decided there was 25 cards, and I have the, let's see, I have different, why can't I think? Why can't I talk? these are all words from other languages, and they all have like a meaning that you can't really translate into English very easily, not with one word. So, so it's all about language and expression. And then the topic on the cards is the masks that we wear. And it kind of goes along with the theme that I just started working with, the facets of self, you know, how the world sees you and how you present yourself to the world, what you know of yourself inside. So all of these kind of go with that. Just looked up really cool images on the internet of masks, and I drew them. So it was just a fun kind of adventure, and my husband really wanted the collection, so that encouraged me to complete it, and that was really nice. I enjoyed having a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. You know, there's an end in sight of this little project, and that felt really good. Which is a little different than my journals, because my journals just, you know, they just keep going. So I have to trick myself into staying enthusiastic, whereas this one, it was, okay, I'm going to do 25 cards, and they're all going to have little words on the back with their meanings, and, you know, just marked out the rules and completed the task, so that was really nice. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun for me. Prompt number 12, and this is the last prompt. Pull a card for the new year or a deck you want to use next year. So that's easy. I just got this one in. It might be hard to see. It's Fantasy Tarot. It's the 9 Collector's Edition. I got this on Kickstarter. It was one of my Christmas gifts. This is based on The Lord of the Rings, and I'm just thrilled with how it turned out. Everything about this is so nice. I would love to work with this in the coming year and, you know, study the books again, because part of the project on Kickstarter was just to incorporate the visuals of the movies along with the actual lore of the books, and I think they did a fantastic job. I've looked through this 3 times already, and, you know, I love everything about it. It's amazing. I have 9 extra cards that I can trade out back here. So there's a Hanged Man, another Temperance, Devil, Tower. Anyway, but I thought of it because there's another Chariot. But yeah, it's a really great deck, and I think the mastery of blending the movies with the books is probably the hardest part and the most impressive part of creating this deck. Of course, well, not of course, but yes, I read the books growing up, and I read them with my son again after many years, and then the movies were coming out, and I was like, yeah, we need to go through all these books. I read The Silmarillion for the first time a few years ago, and that was amazing. I'm positive you could not put that in a tarot deck. It's kind of like reading the Bible. It's a little dry, and yeah, just so full of stuff. So I love this deck, and I'm so happy to have a Lord of the Rings tarot deck that just encapsulates like how I feel about the movie and the books. I was going to go ahead and draw a card for this next year, but they're already in order. They're still in order. I need to shuffle them. They're like buttery how they shuffle. It's so soft. Oh, that was easy. Oh, I got the 5 of coins. Well, I was thinking about having a low buy year, so that will just encourage me to stay on the trajectory. So, awesome. That's more encouragement that we know we always need. Okay, guys. Have a happy new year and take care of yourselves. I will see you in 2026. Bye.